Hello from the dung heap, everybody. These are my friends. A lot of
Hi,
them.
friends.
There he is. Hi, sweetie.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
And we're live. Hello. SPTV. Hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. So, you guessed it in the chat. Yes. Unfortunately for some people, especially trolls, I'm not quitting YouTube. Today is my 1 year smoke anniversary. I can't believe it that I quit a year ago. I really attribute it to the love and support from Kelly Copter. She would deny that, but seriously though, she introduced me to a book. It took me a while. I was kind of, I guess what they call like exposure therapy works for me because like I bought it and then I didn't touch it for a while. Well, I listened to it eventually, but I listened to a little bit of it after about a week and then I put it away for like 2 months. And in the meantime, Kelly came to visit me from the UK, came and stayed here for a whole week. And she never mentioned it once. Like she never pressured me. She had quit herself like probably a month or two prior. So she's already had her 1 year anniversary of not vaping. And she never said anything. And you know, the fact that like I didn't feel any pressure and I really was doing it for me. And it said quit smoking without willpower, because I know I have no willpower for a lot of things. And I was like, okay, well, what do I have to lose? Right. I was really coughing a lot, not feeling well. I've actually listened to some streams. There was a stream that I did with Aaron about a year ago where I was wheezing. You could hear me wheezing. People were like, why are you squeaking, Marilyn? I still squeak a little bit. I think it's just part of my voice. But I was really raspy and I just remember like, oh my God, yeah, I felt really scared. You know, I really want to be around for my children and for all of you and for life, right? So I would I finally did it, but it was not easy. So I'll show you the book. And this is just one way. There's so many ways to quit smoking. It takes a lot of people, a lot of times. It took me several times, several attempts to do it. But this is what helped me. It says Alan Carr's easy way, which I can debate that, to quit smoking without willpower. I agree with that. It really wasn't about willpower. It also includes quit vaping. I think I just did the quit smoking one. I listened to the book and it was a gentleman with, I think I listened to the British accent and then somehow I ended up switching over to another, to just English or whatever, whatever you call it, American accent. So that really helped. And it took a while for me to actually get through it. But I think something that really helped me was to prepare myself. Like it was no pressure. It said, go ahead and keep smoking normal, like while you're listening to it. So I didn't feel like I had to, you know, go through like all these cravings and everything while I was listening to the book. And like I said, the whole exposure therapy really helped me because it would have you take a cigarette or, you know, your little vape thingy and, you know, take a drag and kind of like work through it while you were still smoking. And once I got to the end of the book and it said smoke your last cigarette, it was like I didn't even really want it anymore because it kind of conditioned, it almost like rewires your brain. But then I'll tell you, let's say first 6 months, but the first couple days and then the first couple weeks were difficult. They were hard. I'm not going to lie. That's just my experience. But what I would do was when I really, really had a craving, I wouldn't say, nope, 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 I can't have it. And I was like, what if I did? Like, I would kind of mentally walk myself through it. And then I would tell myself, okay, if I still feel like this after 15 minutes, I'll drive to the store and I'll get some. That never happened. It never ended up having to happen. So I was really grateful because after a while it did get better and easier. But like now, I can go out during a gig and just kind of hang out and talk to people while they're smoking. It really doesn't bother me. Once in a while I do, like when I have a couple of drinks, I'll want to. People are accusing me of being a dry drunk. No, I'm not. I'm not dry. But I have a couple and it's still, I'll have a little craving, but I won't smoke and it goes away really, quickly. So, that's my experience. The book helped me. It wasn't easy. I was joking. Like I was mad at that guy. Like, how can he say that? But, I guess now I can feel like I can be proud of myself because at first I was afraid to be proud of myself. Like I didn't want to rest on my laurels. I didn't want to breathe easy, so to speak, right? No pun intended. Because I was afraid I would just get complacent and fall back into it. And now it's like, well, it's been a year and yeah, I feel damn proud of myself, and I do feel a lot better. And there's absolutely no shame on anyone that is struggling with it because I totally get it. Like it's been something that I've struggled with since I was 15, 16. And it was something that was like, I could sneak and do. Well, my adopted mother would smell it and, she would get really mad, but it was like, I couldn't really like go anywhere. So it was like one of those things I could just sneak and do it. So, I'm just glad. And I wanted to share that with all of you because, we share our lives. And, if there's any comments or questions or things. Yes, exactly. You have more money for your true loves, yarn and cheese. Yeah, okay, so you mathematicians out there. I smoked, well, I was up to a pack a day and then I cut down like probably a year before I quit. I cut down to maybe a half to 3/4, but say a pack a day, right? For, 7 days a week. For a whole year, excuse me, at $15 a pack because I smoked American Spirits and they were $15 a pack this past year. So I'm just thinking like, what would I have saved? So if you think of it like a pack a day at $15, so 15 times 365, what's that? I can't do that in my head, but yeah, that's how much money I saved this past year. So, I have been able to have a little bit of extra spending money, to, buy like a few things like organic vegetables once in a while or, help my kids out. Yeah, it's been great. And I do feel better. So maybe how much? $5,475. Oh my God. Really? So even half of that, even if I just smoked a half a pack, that's still $2,200. Wow, that is wild. Yep, 5475. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, so I was thinking about that. It's like, what was good about smoking? You know what I mean? Like, what was good about it? Like, okay, it cost a lot of money, smelled bad, it killed my adopted father and my sister. Yeah, what else? Like, it's very, it's kind of like bondage because you have to smoke every hour or 2 hours. So you can't really, you have to plan to do that. Like when I would go to a concert or go on a flight or something, yeah, it was really hard. I would bring nicotine gum, but I didn't really like it. So I smoked from the time I was like 15, 16, pretty steadily till I was about 21, 22. Then I was in the cult. I did quit. That was one good thing about being in the cult. I did quit smoking for 20 plus years, had my kids, never smoked, when having them. And then it's got to be 11, 12 years ago now when I started working retail and then I was around it. And I thought I could just be a social smoker. Did not work out for me. No, because whether you have a addictive personality or whatever, like I could not be a social smoker, I can sort of be a social drinker, but not a social smoker. That doesn't work for me. And then once I bought my first pack, that was it. And I've tried to quit at least 5 times since then. So this really helped me. If anybody, wants to try it, I guess quitting if you're a smoker. For those who've never smoked, congratulations, because I think that's wonderful. And I'm glad to hear that smoking in itself has cut down, even though there's like 1 million or more people that smoke in the world, or probably even more than that. But I'm glad that it's cut down a lot. So let me go through some of and I have some other things I want to share today too. Some on a little bit of serious nature. I think I might do a separate stream about it. I'm not sure if I'll do it tonight or maybe Wednesday or something, but stay tuned because tomorrow I'm actually streaming with Liz Gail. We're going to talk about some things, and that'll be fun and also very deep. I love talking to her. So that will happen. And then Thursday, I got a lot of plans. Thursday, I'll be on with Mark Torrey. He's got some stuff to say, some tea to spill, and he's usually a very mellow guy, but he's got an opinion about some things. And so, yeah, that'll be really interesting, maybe a little spicy. So one sec, guys. Just want to grab some tea. Cheers, Zena, Marlene, everybody. So what do you guys think about this chat on the screen? What do you guys think? Let me know your opinion. The reason why I decided to try it, because I saw it in StreamYard and I saw a couple other creators have tried it. If you don't have, like, say 100 people watching in your streams, which lately I haven't, because I've been doing very casual things, and I love it. I don't mind at all, because I'm not worried about all that. But some people in the chat, when they watch the replay, they say, oh, the chat isn't loaded yet. I want to watch the chat. So I was like, well, I can try it if I put it on screen. If it's too distracting, let me know. But I thought I would just try it anyways. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? Sarah likes the chat on the screen. Okay, thank you. Hey, Pizza, good to see you, friend. Glad you're here. Can't stand some of the smells of vapes, yeah. Oh, that's okay. You're not late. Anna, you should be so proud. Thank you. I smoke and I hate it. Quit countless times. It is hard. It's absolutely so hard. I feel you. And I am not special in any way. Like, I'm terrible with willpower. So I can just tell you what worked for me. Is just being kind to myself and being like, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up if I mess up, which I can't believe that I didn't this time, because usually I would fall back into it, and it's okay, like having moments, right? And if I was going to give in to stress and smoke, this would have been the year, because there were a lot of things that happened that in the past I would have been like, this, I'm going to have a cigarette, somehow I stuck it out and went through menopause at the same time, still going through it. But oh yeah, my sisters were like that. I never smoked in the house, but Jojo says my parents both smoked. The walls of the house were all nicotine yellow. Yeah, my sister Sherry, who unfortunately passed away from lung cancer, her house was like that. Yeah, it was like sticky. It was awful. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of those what are those fly sticky tape, kind of like that. Ugh, it was gross. But you think of, like, I used to think about that. I'm like, that's what I'm doing to my lungs, like, that's crazy, but I couldn't help it. I was addicted, like, majorly. And I realized that the nicotine addiction was what they call the little monster in this book. And the big monster is the mental, emotional, and all the, psychological dependency on it. And I will give, not my favorite person, but Brett Miller, aka Tommy Scoville. I did pop into his chat after I quit smoking, about a year ago. And this was before everything went down and all the things. And I just decided to just go in and say, hey, I just quit smoking. Like, got any advice? And a lot of people were very supportive. And Tommy said something, or Brett said something that helped me. And I'm sure he didn't come up with it himself, but hey, he knows some stuff. He said that your brain, because I was like, why is it that there's like basically a cigarette shaped hole in my brain or in my heart or whatever, and only like nothing else could really replace it? And he said something about how your brain trains itself to manipulate your dopamine levels, and it sets up a dependency on that one thing, and that's your addiction of choice, which for me was smoking. I have some other things I'm working on too, but that was the main thing, because my doctor was like, smoking's going to kill you a lot faster than being overweight or anything else. That's the main thing that you need to work on. So that did help me, because it made me, excuse me, it made me think like, oh, it's just my brain playing tricks on me. I really don't need a cigarette, because I set myself up to need it in order to set myself straight, like normal again, right? Like when you, and I'm sorry if anybody is a smoker and feels like, nervous, like they have to go have a cigarette. I totally get it. Go have a cigarette if you need to. Giorgio, go ahead. If I'm messing you up, you can listen later. Oh, he got up and sat back down. Okay. No, I totally get it, because even talking about it would bring on a craving for me. So yeah, I guess what worked for me might not work for anybody else, but I'm here if anybody wants to talk about it. I'm here, and like I said, I've got some other things too. Oh, Kelly, hi, sweetie. You're back. I missed you. Thank you, and congrats to you for sticking out over a year now, well over a year. And I'm excited for the summer, not, being able to breathe better, being able to swim without getting out of breath. I noticed that I'm not out of breath as much as I used to be. So, and thank you, Kelly. I know Kelly does not want to take any credit for this, but she really did. She really did help me. And she introduced me to this book, which happened to be the thing that really worked for me. So yeah, let me go through some of your comments. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Sorry, just going through. Hey, Stasia, good to see you. Mods, chat, lurkers, and haters. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, there's lots of all of those, right? That's funny. Thank you, Stasia. Yeah, we did it. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it's been a year. It's wild. Thank you, Sharona. You like the chat box on the screen. Okay. All right, so I haven't just got here. Yes, I quit a year ago. I can't believe it. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you so much. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Asen, I can't handle people smoking in the same room as me. I never smoked. I get it. He says, I smoked heavily for 6 years, I think. It was easy for me to quit after I ran out of energy and breath while trying to swim to an island. Yeah, I love to swim. So that was something that really motivated me. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be scary. Yeah. Tan Louise, hey there. My daughter quit vaping by accident. She got glandular fever, tonsillitis at the same. Oh, yeah, that would do it. Yeah. I have friends, like I have a friend that went into the hospital and she quit for a week because she had to. And then unfortunately she picked it back up, and now she quit again, and she's been quit for I think 6 months now. So I'm very proud of her. Asa, my sister smokes heavily. She started with 30. Flight to Turkey was resting place of my dad. It's always torture for her. Oh, yeah. Started with her. I'm not sure what you mean by started with 30. Yeah. Well, hope it's not 30 cigarettes. That's a lot. But I know people who smoke more than that. Jojo says, I think vaping is worse than traditional cigarettes, only my opinion. A family member was very poorly from vaping. Honestly, do neither if possible. Yeah, I know. I decided like I never liked the gum. I don't even like real regular gum. Um and the patches, I did quit with the patches once, but then I picked it back up. So I decided for me, like the first time I quit for 20 years was cold turkey. And it worked for me for 20 years. So I was like, well, I'm going to just do it cold turkey this time because I felt like if I'm going to smoke, I'm going to smoke. I'm not going to replace it with anything. So, and I wanted to just get it over with, I guess. Because if you're like low dosing on nicotine, I felt like that would just kind of leave it in my system and make me want it more. But I know people that have quit like with Chantix where you just don't have the desire anymore. But I'm really sensitive to medications. And so my doctor's been trying to put me on like every type of medication, and I'm just very sensitive to it. And I really didn't want anything that says like, oh, you might want to unalive yourself, or yeah, I probably I don't do well with that kind of thing. So I decided not to do that. Hey, Gracie and Matilda Jane's channel. Hey there. Never smoked, was around my great grandmother from Munich, Germany. She smoked every day, lived to 107. I have heard people living a long time smoking. That's wild. Just good gene, I guess. Her daughter, my grandmother, did the same and passed at 49. My parents never have, or me never. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you stopped the cycle. So Duncan has an aunt who is 103 and she smoked for 40 years. I think she quit 40 years ago, but she smoked like, well, now what, half third of her life, but she's fine for a 103-year-old. I mean, she's doing really good, but yeah, like that didn't, I know people that smoked for like 20, 30 years and ended up, passing away from smoking related things. So yeah, for me, all told, it was probably 15 to 20 years that I smoked. So I'm glad that I don't anymore. Thank you, Northern Girl. That you were able to quit. 16 years. Oh, congratulations for this July. We'll have to celebrate. That's awesome. Hey, Pat. Oh, I've been smoking since I was 15. I'm 69 now. There's so much involved in why I started and why I'm still smoking. I'd love to quit. I'd love to hate it, but I don't. There's just so much involved. I'm so glad you said that because I still love smoking. Like honestly, if I could do it and not worry about like dying, um, and not feel all of, the things like the side effects and the money and the smell and all that, like if I could do it, I really did enjoy it. I don't know. I liked it. So I totally get that. And to me, I'm not ashamed to admit it that I do miss it sometimes. I really do. But then I guess just knowing that there were so many bad things about it, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I quit. And it does get easier, but yeah, I totally get it. And there's no shame. And I I really don't know anybody that's a smoker that is smoking now or was a smoker that didn't at one point say, I really want to quit. I love to quit. And I have people that are very close to me that have tried several times and they always say, oh, I'd love to quit. I'd love to quit. And I don't pressure them at all. I just answer them their questions when they come to me. And yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I can do to help them or help any of you, I absolutely will because I have been there. And I'm still there sometimes. So yeah, there's no shame. There's no shame in missing it or even loving it and hating it at the same time because it became like a friend. It became like a friend to me, a friend that was killing me. But yeah, same. It's just a friend all the more in some ways. I was like I felt like I was missing something, like, oh my God, like I felt where's my best friend, but then I got to realize that I can live without it. Thank you, Jazzy girl. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm glad that a whole year has gone by, because maybe 6 months ago, I would have been like, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it because I might fall back into it, you know? So now I feel pretty confident. Eat more pizza. My friend smokes bacon. When he does, I ask the same question. Where do you find rolling papers that big? Okay. Oh, that's funny. Jojo, comment. Nicotine in a medical grade formula is being trialed for help in neurological conditions. Bowel disease. Wow. That blows my mind in a good way. Interesting. Interesting. You know, something that was brought up in that book, which I thought was interesting, is the pharmaceutical companies and the nicotine companies are kind of tobacco, you know, big tobacco, are kind of like, it sounds conspiratorial, but they sort of work in tandem at times, because they want you, like, they're providing the nicotine for people to try to quit, right? So the pharmaceutical companies are turning, you know, the nicotine into a stop smoking aid, but they're still fueling the tobacco companies. Does that make sense? So I was like, that is very weird, because either way, they're profiting, and they want you to try to quit smoking using the nicotine products. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I guess I just won't use anything and see what happens. And it worked. So, but if nicotine in itself could be, if it's not so addictive, which it is addictive, if they could make it in a medical grade where it's not so addictive, and helps bowel disease, neurological conditions, then good, you know. I've read that caffeine can be good for you. Duncan, that's Duncan's justification in keeping and still drinking coffee, a lot of coffee, even though he had some problems with GERD and all that. Not to be gross, TMI, but he's like, well, it's staving off the Alzheimer's. So I said, yeah, I've heard that. So that and Candy Crush for me, caffeine and Candy Crush, I think helps me with a brain fog. I wish they just, yeah, that's a good point. I remember them getting to $5 a pack, and then $10 a pack, and then $15 a pack. And for me, that didn't sway me. It should have, definitely, thinking that, yeah, I saved upwards of $5,000 this year by not smoking. That is wild. Heat my shorts. I thought smoking was cool when I was younger. That's why I started smoking. And because the smokers got extra work breaks. Yes. Yep. At the tire shop that I worked at. Yep. All those things. He said, I will never quit coffee. I'm with you there. Anna from Canada. My parents used to smoke in the car when we were kids. Yeah. I think that's like, is that illegal now? I felt like I've heard that. I think my daughter told me that. If you get stopped and you're smoking with children in the car, you can get in trouble, like a ticket or something, I think. Jason, just imagine how much money you're saving. You could buy so many things you like, go on vacation with the money. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Again, that didn't really deter me from smoking, but it's definitely a plus. I'm glad for that. And I've noticed it. Definitely noticed it. And I used to ask Duncan to pick me up cigarettes, and I know he hated doing it, but he would, just to save the time and the gas. But I'm glad I haven't had to ask him, And he's like, yeah, you haven't asked me for any money. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to, because I'm good. I'm pretty low maintenance for the most part. See, Spirit, weird fact, during adult ADHD assessments, they ask if your parents smoked during pregnancy with you and how heavily. I believe it. Yeah. My mother, my biological mother that I know of, never smoked. I don't think she ever drank either. I know she didn't while she was pregnant with me, I'm sure. Northern Girl, they said if you quit smoking for 15 years, your lungs will repair themselves to that of a non-smoker. Well, that's good to know. I hope that's true. Right now I have allergies. So let's do a proper Xenu Marlene. Where is it? Here it is. Cheers, everybody. Partake. I got tea today. Tea in my Vermont cup. Oh, let me. Sorry, this is so clunky. All right. Tan Louise, Great Britain. My dad quit smoking after his lung collapse. Ooh, and he saw what was draining out of it. He said it looked like tar on a road. Oh, I can imagine. I remember seeing those pictures in school of like the lungs smokers' lungs. Awful. Anna from Canada. I feel more sorry for anyone around me when I'm quitting. Another good point. I pick fights to give myself an excuse to go to the store. I sometimes have to lock myself in a room. Yeah, Duncan should get an award for putting up with me. That's for damn sure. He knew I was going to be grumpy, and he was totally willing to put up with it because he really wanted, for my sake, to quit smoking. So, yeah, he definitely deserves some kind of trophy, more so than me even. Sharona, I can't vape those perfume flavors. They immediately make me feel ill and make me cough. I just do the menthol. I buy heavier juice and cut down myself. So very lightly flavored menthol. Gotcha. I smoked menthol cigarettes in the 80s for a little while, Newports, but they were, I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that they had fiberglass in them, and then it made me switch back to Marlboro and then eventually to American Spirit. But they're not healthy. American Spirit, they're not. I mean, maybe they have less chemicals, but it even says it on the box. Like, this isn't healthier than any other smoking. I think they were forced to do that. And I've never tried. Oh, Chantix. Yeah. I've heard good things. I know people that have quit with it and it's worked for them. So yeah, if your doctor recommends it, I don't see any harm in trying it. J.R. Slender, hey there. Not all vaping is equal. The liquid I use is all natural and utilizes only 2 ingredients that are found in lots of foods, plus nicotine. I have 100% lung capacity and it costs very little. Well, it sounds a lot better than smoking, that's for sure. Yeah, I've never heard that. Brenda, I only ever smoked from age 14 to 21. I'm almost 68 now. I was lucky. I don't think I was ever addicted. I was shy and it was a needed prop. Yeah, I get it. I got allergic around 21. I get runny nose and then I quit. Yeah, I've always had like allergies and it was just stupid for me to even start. And like when I quit for 20 years, I felt better, but honestly, I would still have cravings. Like even 15 years out from having quit, I still had cravings, and I still do sometimes, but I know that I'm strong. I think I'm stronger now that I'm like, okay, I can work through this. I think I'm okay now. I don't really want to go back to it. Sometimes I do, but not really. Hey, Adam, smoking is such a cult. Packs of cigarettes should be called pack-based, right? Yeah, I mean, anything that traps you like that, it does feel like a cult. It feels like you're being taken over by something else, by a substance, right? Northern Girl, for the Canadians in here, you know what I'm talking about when you see our cigarette packs. Yuck, the visuals are brutal. Really? Like on the pack? What do they have? Like pictures of like black lungs and stuff? George is nodding. Really? Can you send me a screenshot of one? Not, doesn't have to do it now, but I'm just curious. I could probably Google it, right? I could look it up. That is weird. Wow. So I bet a lot less Canadians smoke. Is that true? I would think so. He said, I remember my dad saying if they raise the price to $5 per pack, he will quit. He never did. Yeah, I remember. Hey, honey, my hubby. Congrats. Thank you, honey. Just realized time was flying by. It got away from me. Major achievement. Yes, and you too, honey. He survived me quitting smoking. You know what? Yes, pizza. Duncan said that they would have him in his high school. Like that was long gone by the time I got to high school. He's 12 years older than me. But yeah, I do remember my class was the last class that was allowed to smoke outside, and then they banned it. Like when I was a senior, we were the last one with a smoking area outside, but we were never allowed to smoke inside. But we could smoke during like lunch or whatever. But yeah, we were the last class. But Duncan would have cigarette machines in his high school. That is just crazy. That's wild. Sharona, when I quit the first time, I used nicotine patches and Wellbutrin to quit. It worked for over a year, but I picked it up again drinking with friends that smoked. Big regret. Yeah, that was a huge concern for me. And I actually did take Wellbutrin for something else, but I think maybe it did help me. But the drinking and the smoking outside and all that stuff, like that's something that that book really helped me with. It was like, again, like sort of like the exposure therapy that really did help me. But I wouldn't recommend going out and hanging out with people smoking. But I usually can handle it. Sometimes I can't, but sometimes I can. So yeah. And I did let somebody smoke in my car once since I quit smoking. It didn't really bother me, but it was like I don't smoke in my car. So I used to sometimes. Yeah, on a long trip I would. So I get it. So I do let them. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Hey, Joel. I was born in the 50s. In those days, it was a very common thing. The 60s was a very different time. I have had a lifetime of paying the price of bad habits and poor choices. Yeah, I think we all have things, right? And again, no shame at all. Like I I could very well even fall back into it. So I try to really stay humble about it, you know? Like I'm not this magical person that's like, oh, look at me, I quit smoking. I'm like, holy shit, I quit smoking. Like, wow. Like, I can't believe that I went a year. Like, if I, people say this all the time, but if I can do it, anybody can. That's for sure. But again, no pressure at all. I'm glad we can talk about it without any pressure. You know, it's an addiction and it's hard. Like addictions are hard to quit. You were only showing pictures. They brought jar with smokers' lungs into my school. Did that work? That's kind of like the scared straight thing. You were piecing out. Watching red asphalt in school was an experience. Not sure what that is. Doesn't sound good. Northern Girl. It's illegal in Ontario to smoke with kids in the car. It's also illegal in work vehicles, akin to smoking in an office. Not sure if it's Canada-wide, though. Yeah, I'm not sure if that law is just a Massachusetts thing. I haven't looked into Vermont. I mean, I live in Vermont, but I do most of my everything in Massachusetts. So, yeah, I'll have to look that up. Shona, I don't know how people can smoke in a car or a house with children present in these times. Too much info out there. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should definitely be illegal. He said, I can't handle strong scents. May they be good like perfume or bad in any form. So a face mask and tiger balm are ready in my bag to put on to fight it because otherwise I choke. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I smoked for a long time, so I guess that didn't bother me as much. But things like I can't stand the smell of lavender. Like that makes my nose itch, and I'm like, ugh, it smells moldy to me. Isn't that weird? Or like cilantro too. I have that anti cilantro gene. Like I don't like that even the smell or the taste of it. It just reminds me of like stinky feet. What else? Yeah, I don't really like. I like some scents. Like I like fresh scents. But yeah, I am kind of sensitive to stuff like that. Like Flonase. No offense, Stacia. Flonase. I don't know that's not a real name, but it. I don't know why it smells like flowers. Like, why don't they just make it no scent? Like, I can't stand it because they would have me like squirt it up my nose, and I'm like, it smells like lavender, which I don't like. So I can't take it. I just can't take it. Northern Girl, Champix, USA. Oh, Chantix. Yeah. Okay. Champix is Canadian. Got it. It worked for me. I didn't even have to use all of it. I only took it for about 2 weeks. Oh, that's good. So yeah, it just makes you not want it, right? It just takes the craving away. I like that. Oh, really? Horrific pics on the cigarette pack? Really? I gotta look that up. That's wild. Really? How come I've never heard of this? Why does, well, I would say, why does the USA do it? Though, why don't they do a lot of things? You know, we're ass backwards with a lot of things. Brenda, my throat hurts just thinking about smoking again. Yeah, I was lucky. I started getting sick from it when still young. I probably have continued. Yeah, I hear you. I remember getting packs for my dad from the vending machines when I was little. Yeah. Freezing Eagle. This is my hubby. 50 cents a pack in machines at the end of the hallway, smoking area in the school. Kids like the stairwell. Ugh. Yeah, I can't imagine. Stasia, I've hung out with smokers in high school. No judgment, just fun conversations. Yeah. Yeah, I remember being in restaurants and bars and stuff like that. I can remember being in clubs so full of cigarettes, cigar, and pipe smoke, you couldn't see one end of the room to the other. Yeah. Hey, Laura. I love these honest lives. Yeah, you've come to the right place. I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. Um, which reminds me, I I had a really nice email exchange with is it Audit LA or LA Audit? I think it's Audit LA. She was on Aaron's channel last night, and I had honestly never like heard her talk like in a stream. I know who she is, and I know she does a lot of work in LA with going against works against Scientology and does a lot of local community activism. She goes to all of the I don't know if it's called city council meetings, but she really is a powerful voice against Scientology, and she is coordinating a big, I think it's on L. Ron Hubbard Boulevard, a big protest on the 15th, which is Father's Day. And she has invited everybody, you know, from around the country and the world, if they can come. And she secured a permit, which is a big deal, a huge deal. So yeah, check that out on Aaron's channel if you want to know more. But I do have the PayPal and the, what is it called? The GoFundMe link. If anybody is interested in helping, if you can't make it or whatever, but you want to help with supplies, they're going to have food. They're going to have, you know, drinks like water and little fans and stuff like that. There's also, I think I saw it on her community page. It's LA Audit or Audit LA. I forgot what it is. But anyways, if one of the mods can even find it, she has also an Amazon wish list. I looked at it, but it said, because where I live, I mean, I don't know where it's shipping from, but it said that some of the things didn't look like they would show up in time, and some things would show up by Friday. So I just decided to email her and just ask her for the PayPal and the GoFundMe link so that I could help. So I'll be honest, because, you know, I talk about stuff, right? We talk about things here. Some things I don't talk about, but other things I do. I was modding in the chat yesterday, and there were a lot of questions about having to do with DOA. And I guess DOA is not, he's not able to attend. So if that would be in any way a deterrent for anyone, either giving to it or showing up and supporting in person. I guess he has nothing to do with this. He won't be there. I'm not involved in all of that. I really don't pay attention. So I don't know who's on what's team or whatever, but some people had some questions about that. And I get it. It's legit. You know, if you don't want to support someone who supports somebody you don't like or support, I get it. That's totally, there's a lot of people that don't like me and don't even want to support, Aaron or Natalie, probably because of me, whatever. That's their choice. That's your choice. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it's a really good cause. She's doing good work, as we say. And yeah, I myself, I wanted to contribute a little bit because, being in Vermont, I really can't do protesting and all that. So that's my spiel. If that can be put in the chat or I can figure out how to do it. But thank you, George, if you don't mind putting those in. Or you probably already did, but sorry, I'm trying to catch up. That's right. Nobody is on this earth going to be liked by everyone. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, thank you, George. Yeah, there it is. Go find me. Okay. Wasn't smoking on a plane legal? I bet it was. Yeah, I bet it was. So yeah, that was a change of subject, but I just wanted to put that out there. I think it's important to just share the options, I know we all want to see Scientology get taken down, and I think that this is one way to support that. So I think it's a good thing. My shorts, the mind is a very powerful thing, but it can be retrained, right? It can be trained to want to smoke, and it can be trained to untrain yourself, from being dependent on a substance. Yeah. Sharona, Marilyn, this stream is so important for you, and I appreciate you are okay with us talking about still smoking and vaping. Doing these streams should help you stay in recovery. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'm good with, I think like talk therapy kind of thing helps me. Like I said, maybe because I wasn't allowed to talk about things in the cult, so I like to talk about stuff, all the things. But yeah, I think for me, like the exposure therapy idea kind of works, because then you're not relying on your ability to not think about something. Because if you say, don't think of a pink elephant, what are you thinking about right now? Pink elephant, right? So if it's like, I can think about a pink elephant, but I don't need to have one in front of me. I don't know. That's kind of silly, but yeah, that's kind of how I think about it. Oh my God. Yes. I remember those Popeye candy smokes. Yeah. I used to have the candy cigarette gum. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like having toy GUNs. Those, you don't see those anymore, really. The ones that look real. That is interesting, Adam. Hubbard had a preference for nonsense, but he smoked. And he said, not smoking enough can give you cancer. What? And this guy, people worship him and think that he's the source of all wisdom? I don't think so. Itchy thing is not related, but I busted out as Zeno Marlene during a toast this weekend. Got some. I love it. That's hilarious. Thank you for sharing that. George Massey, I remember smoking sections at the back of planes. Oh, I used to make my wife sit with me on flights to London. She hated it. The thought of it now grosses me out. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you're basically in this little tin can, but wow. I wonder when it must have been in the 80s or 90s when it started to turn the tide against smoking. My shorts. I just read a pilot smoking a cigarette ignited leaking oxygen, causing a fire that led to 2016 crash of Egypt Air flight. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Yeah, I could see, because flames and oxygen do mix. That's for sure. Brenda, I always hoped they could have a parade, but the sidewalk thing sounds good. LA is trying to recruit again. Been watching Good. Oh, yes. Yeah, the recruiting center, what do they call that? Testing centers? Yeah, I'm glad he's on top of it. And he's getting a lot of views. I love it. Love it. Laura, love the live protest on Aaron's channel on Friday. Yeah, I love those. I really wanted to be there. Yeah, this Friday I think my boys have a gig, but I always watch it if I don't have a gig to go to. They do? Gracie, where do you live? They still, I mean, not exactly where you live, like what country? They still sell candy cigarettes around here. Very hard to find. Wow. Brenda, I'd like to see Aaron protest in LA again. I'd like to see all those friendships mended. I know he always got along with Will, but love to see him with Serge and Laura again. Yeah, I would too. Yeah. Yeah, and Will, is that William Good? Not sure. Yeah, okay. Chum Lee. Oh, is that DOA? Chum Lee can't go anywhere near a Scientology bill. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, I think it makes sense for people to just get along, right? Hi, sweetie. Good to see you, Liz Gal. Liz and I will be on tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're talking about yet, but we're doing a stream. I'm really excited. Can't wait. And Tori Magoo is getting huge views on TikTok. Awesome. Good for her. I love her. She is badass. Tori has a video with almost 1 million views. Awesome. That is great. Oh, we've already been on for almost an hour. Most they get to go into the recruiting center are teens who are just goofing them. Right. They're not really serious. That's funny. To swear, you can still get candy cigarettes here in the UK. They changed their name to Candy Sticks. Yeah. Yeah, so wow, it's been a year. Here's to 1 year. Hopefully many more. I feel like it's really helped me to be able to breathe better. And again, I don't mind talking about it. And there's no shame, no shame and no embarrassment, no pressure around here. But if anybody wants to talk, you can always, thank you, you can always email me at coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. And yeah, I'd be happy to chat with you about all the things. I also want some fun dip. I'm just hungry. I remember that. I love the sticks. I'm not really into the sour powdery stuff, but I used to love those. The sticks were really good. Watch the Clearwire Crew every Friday. Yeah, I think my boys have thank you, Gracie. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. All right. Well, I'm not sure if I'll be on tonight. I was thinking of doing it, but I might push that off to Wednesday, but definitely tune in tomorrow. I'll be on with Liz, Gail. I'm really excited. And yeah, so everybody have a good day. I think I'm going to try to go outside and touch some grass. The grass is nice and green. I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day. Bye. Zenu, Marlene, everybody partake. Cheers. This is good coffee. This is why, my hubby makes the coffee.
Like a glove.